Hey y'all, it's Keeping It with BB. Today we are doing an Ulta haul and affordable makeup application. And we're going to be playing with all the things that I purchased from Ulta. And it's going to be a really fun video. So let's go ahead and get into it. I don't have on sun care yet, but I'm going to put on this new one that I'm trying out from Milani. It is the Science of Melanin Rich Skin. Do the Most is the name of it. And there's only SPF 30 in here, but it's something, you know. So I'm gonna apply that. I always like to either put SPF on, have SPF in my base product, and then put an additional layer of either sun protection on top of that, or have some sun protection in my tinted moisturizer, or whatever it is that I'm gonna be putting on top of my skin. So I really like this one because it's really hydrating, and as you can see, it leaves a really nice dewy glow on the skin. From what I remember, it's pretty affordable as well. I'm not sure if they sell this one at Ulta. The base product that I'm going to be trying today from Ulta is the Milani Glow Hydrating Skin Tint, and I have mine in the shade 310. I have never tried this product, but I've been really into tinted moisturizers lately. This right here is supposed to be an ultra luminous skin tint with a sheer to light coverage. Melts into the skin for a naturally dewy glow, and there's 29% squalane in here is what gives it that really hydrating quality, I'm assuming. So this actually looks like a really good shade match for me. I bought it online. There's what it looks like right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap it onto my skin and then blend it out, and we'll see how that goes. I pretty much used everything that's on the back of my hand here, and I might go in and add a little bit more in a second, but I do want to kind of conceal some discoloration that I do have on my face first, just to avoid putting on more of the skin tint if I can. The two concealing products that I purchased are these right here. This is the Milani Supercharged Eye Brightening Under Eye Tint in the shade 130 Deep Peach. I'm pretty sure this is the deepest color that they have in this product. And I also purchased the e.l.f. Flawless Brightening Concealer. So I got this one right here in the shade Deep 50W. I'm going to apply some of this right here under my eyes. And I'm going to kind of let this sit because I have used this already like one time, but I didn't use it with a base product on. I just used it by itself. And I noticed that it is a really, really lightweight sheer type of concealer. So I do kind of want to let it sit on there for a little bit to get some more coverage out of it if I can. So I'm going to let that sit there. And now I'm going to go in with the Deep Peach from Milani and put it around my mouth where I do have some discoloration from waxing my lip area and using Nair. Both of them cause negative reactions on my skin, so I just need to figure out what I'm going to do going forward. If I'm just going to shave my upper lip or if I'm going to get laser hair removal, because both waxing and using Nair damaged my skin. Yeah, so I'm going to go on with the Milani product here. It says it instantly illuminates under eyes with microfine pearls. I might use this under my under eyes, but I mainly got it for this discoloration that I have right here from what I was just telling you what happened. This is what it looks like squeezed out of the tube. This color looks quite light. Hopefully it works for me. But this is the deepest shade, like I said. And it looks to be quite light, so I'm just gonna let that sit right there for a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and blend out this concealer under my eyes from e.l.f. And this concealer is quite warm, so it does give that kind of cancellation of darkness and dullness that you may have. And I like how lightweight it is. You can't really feel it on the skin, and I do feel like letting it sit right there for a little bit is giving me more coverage than when I just put it on and blend it in, as with it pretty much does with any concealer that you're going to use, or any concealer that I've used before. If you let it sit, it does kind of just give you some more coverage. And now I'm going to blend this Deep Peach out around my mouth. and see if that helps conceal that darkness that I'm dealing with. I think it helped a little bit actually. But now I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of the Milani Glow Skin Tint itself and just kind of go over top it just a little bit to kind of cancel out how light it is. So I'm not using very much of this, and I ran out of product when I got to this side of my face. So let me just put a little bit more there, and I want to see if this is buildable where I do have some discoloration on this side of my face. So I'm just going in with my foundation brush. This is an IT Cosmetics brush from Ulta as well. I've had these brushes for a really long time, and they're actually probably the best quality brushes that I have in my collection that have lasted me the longest. That skin tint here. I don't feel like it's completely concealed. You can still see some darkness here, and I'm not liking that, but maybe some powder will help. The only powder that I have is from Bite Beauty, and it's not an affordable product, and it can't be found at Ulta, so just act like I'm not using this right now. I do have another color correcting product and concealer that I have been using that has been concealing this for me lately, but unfortunately this Milani Duo is just too lightweight to conceal that darkness that I'm dealing with right now around my mouth. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of the look goes. I'm liking the way that everything else is looking right now. I'm gonna go in with my Range Beauty Translucent Setting Powder. Next, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the color Bronzed Belle. And this, I believe, is only $6, and I have been seeing people talk about this product. I haven't watched any reviews on it, though, so I'm excited to see how it works out for me. This is what it looks like. It's quite small, and like I said, this is the color Bronzed Belle. And I'll swatch that on my arm for you. Wow, it has a very unique texture. It's very creamy when you touch it here, but once you kind of start applying it, it kind of feels kind of like satiny and kind of powdery almost. I wonder if it has like a powdery finish, but there it is right there. And let's see what this looks like on me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna apply it with my finger like this and then blend. I'm gonna use my Japanesque 718 brush. I'm actually gonna tap in there a little bit as well just to get a little bit more product and blend that out. This is not my favorite brush. The little stipples do hurt, so I like the way it blends my makeup, but I don't like the way that it feels on my face, so I didn't want to mention that. This is actually a really nice color for me. I like this really neutral undertone that it has. It gives me a different look than my more red and warm bronzers. I actually really like this color a lot. We'll have to see how it sets down on the skin. Just tapping in there now. Since this is a smaller brush, it can fit in there quite nicely. Okay. I actually really like how that looks so far. What do y'all think? And that is the bronzer in Bronzed Belle. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the blush that I purchased, which is also from e.l.f. This is their putty blush in the color Carabine, and it's a really kind of deep berry pink. It does look different than it does on the website than it does right here. I wasn't expecting this to be as pink as it is. I'm gonna go in with the Sephora 74 blush brush. I really love this brush, and I love how it applies my makeup, but I don't like how soon the bristles started coming out. I'm just gonna dip directly in there. Some product on the brush, you can barely see it, but I'm going to go like that, and I feel like I have a lot on there, so let me kind of dab that on the back of my hand a little bit. It's actually quite sheer. It's a lot more sheer than I thought it was gonna be. Does it say it's sheer? Say hello to that Island Glow. This lightweight but buildable putty to powder blush. So I think the putties are supposed to be, yeah, powder. They're supposed to be putty to powder. And I actually did not know that. So no wonder that bronzer felt like a powder to me. Because it does feel quite powdery when you like rub it. You can hear it too. That it, you know, kind of sounds like a powder. So that blush is quite pretty. I like the color. It's a lot more sheer than I was expecting, and I like the color a little bit more than I was expecting to like it as well. So I have a spot on my cheek right here that sometimes it doesn't really pick up or hold on to product. The patch right here seems larger than normal. It's not like this bad with other products, but for some reason with this putty formula, it's not wanting to pick up at all right there. Let me try again without making the color too harsh. But you see it does it like right there. Right there. Little patch. Right there. Okay. Anyways, I guess I'm just going to leave that as is, because if not, it's just going to start taking off the Milani product that I have under here. This is kind of a little bit dewier than I like, but that do the most product is probably making this whole thing a bit dewier, but the Milani is a glow product, so I should have expected this to be uber dewy. I bought the e.l.f. Putty Blush and I forgot to use it. Maybe that's why it was coming out a little bit patchy over here. Maybe I can add a little bit more, wouldn't hurt, right? Oh wow, yeah, you get more pigment for sure with their brush. I actually like that. Alright, let me try it right here where I have this patchy area. Forgot I bought this brush when I bought all this stuff online. And I think this brush actually, yes, I should have used this brush. This brush was designed to work well with the putty products from e.l.f. It's the Putty Blush brush. So I really like this brush actually, and it's really soft. It reminds me a lot of their other stippling brush that I already have in my collection, but instead of this one being like cylindrical, it's flatter here. So I like that about it. So now I'm just gonna brush my brows up because we're gonna go into a brow product from Milani that I'm really excited to try. This is just the e.l.f. Lash and Brow Wand. This is like $1, I think. You can find it at Ulta as well. I'll link everything down below. So I'm gonna go in with the Milani Weekend Brow, and my friend Chessie actually really likes this product, so I'm excited to try it out based on her recommendation. I have mine in the shade 140 Espresso, and I really like the Glossier, what is it called? Brow Flick. And this reminded me of it, so I was like, why not just try this one? It's a little bit more affordable and it's more accessible since it can be found at Ulta. So this is what it looks like. The felt pen on it is very, very fine. I'm going to draw it on the back of my hand. That's the color there. It's like a very neutral brown. Oh wow, it's so easy. The product comes out really nice and lightly. I'm barely touching on my brow here. Okay, and let me get my brush just to kind of brush up a little bit. I don't want the color to get too concentrated in one area. Wow, I actually really like that. Look at the difference. Okay, now let's do this one. I feel like the product disperses a little bit more liquidy and fluid than the Glossier Brow Flick, but you do get the same look. And now we're gonna go into lips. I don't have any affordable options that can be found at Ulta, but I do have some Persona products that I do want to use because you can buy Persona at Ulta. So I'm gonna go on with one of my favorite lip products of all time, which is the Persona E-Balm in the shade Gratitude. I love this formula. If you're not familiar with it, it's a very lightweight and glossy formula that just really glides on the lips and gives you a really nice tinted glow. So really love that one. And they actually just sent me their new highlighting stick in the color Golds. I think it's the only one that they have. And I think you can go ahead and buy this on Ulta's website as well, but I'll go ahead and link everything down there for you. So it's just the same packaging as their bronzers that released not too long ago. If I can get the little plastic part off. Well, that kind of messed up the product a little bit. You can see it there. So I'm just going to use what's in the cap right here instead and apply that. So this seems like a really, really natural highlight. It's definitely balmy. Let me see if there's any glitter in it. Yeah, there's very small specks. So that's it swatched right here on my hand, if you can see. But it looks mostly clear. There's very, very small amount of like gold reflex in there. Very natural highlight. Very balmy if you like those balmier types of highlighting products. Lastly, for mascara, I'm gonna go on with the Highest Lash Chronic Volume Mascara from Pacifica, which I think you can buy on Ulta's website as well. It's in this really cute purple packaging. I've never used this, so I'm excited to try it out and see what it's like. So this is the finished look with the mascara applied. It's definitely one of those more natural looking mascaras if that's your vibe. Not what I normally go for, but just wanted to try it out and let you all know what it looked like. My skin is looking super, super dewy, a little bit more dewy than what I normally go for, especially in this area right here. But I think that's just because this product is very, very dewy. It says glow in the name and it's a hydrating skin tint. I do love the color match, but I think I will opt for something a little bit more satiny or mattifying as my base before I go into this product. The blush color is not my favorite, but I don't mind it. I will just try to like figure out ways to incorporate this color into my makeup, routines. It's not really a color that I normally go for. But I love the bronzer, how natural it looks on my skin. This is probably the most natural looking bronzer that I have just because of the tone of it. It's very neutral, almost cool leaning, but I really like the color a lot. And the Weekend Brow is probably my favorite product that I tried today. It just gives you a really natural looking brow hairs, and I love it. It definitely was the standout product to me for this video. You guys let me know what you think of all the products that I tried. Are any of them your holy grails? Have you tried any of them? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I also wanted to mention that I created an account on TikTok, so I'm there now. I'll leave that info below, and Super Great, which is a newer beauty app where you can do reviews and lives, so I'm excited to be on there as well. I'll leave all the info down below, and I can't wait to connect with you all. I'll catch y'all soon.